Not promote or promotion any illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant only for educational purpose only.
The energy rise. Shout out to the fam, the ones in the skies. Every comment, every laugh keeps the vibe alive. You're the heartbeat of the chat, yeah, we thrive. Pulling up each night, ready to roll. You make this place lit. Body and soul, vibes in the back, heavy lifting, they don't play. Keeping it smooth, watching traffic every day. Peacekeepers on alert, holding down a fort. Crew full of love, every stream they support. To the chat, to the crew, yeah, we shine bright. Got a backbone of the night, holding us tight. To the members, true believers, making it real. You're the pulse in our heart, let's do the deal. To the chat, to the crew, yeah, we shine bright. Got a backbone of the night, holding us tight. To the members, true believers, making it real. You're the pulse in our heart, let's do the deal.
We see you dedicated, going the extra mile. Not just watching you invested. That's the style.
Lights on, vibe strong, every show's a hit. Community together, can't take a minute to quit. You keep us going, no water down vibe. From the chest to the miles, know we thrive.
Major respect to the ones who keep it clean.
Let me get this straightened out. What's going on, everybody? Mic check, mic check. What's happening, y'all? Let me get this shit straightened out.
No, we thrive. Major respect to the ones who keep it clean. Clean up crew rolling, y'all know what I mean. Don't try it today, they say with a glance. Bringing peace to the chaos, giving us a chance. To the chat, to the crew, yeah, we shine bright. Got a backbone of the night, holding us tight. To the members, true believers, making it real. You're the pulse in our heart, let's do the deal. To the chat, to the crew, yeah, we shine bright. Got a backbone of the night, holding us tight. Just know this is true. We appreciate every single one of you. This is our moment. Community's the key. Let's get it poppin'. Let's set the stream free. So here's to the chat mods and members like, oh, you're the heart of the stream, and that's never getting old. Now let's get into it, yeah. We ride on time with you by our side. Every night's a prime.
I mean, absolutely, man. We're gonna get it out the mud, but we're getting close. We're getting close. You know, we're getting close.
Community's love, wear it like a crown.
No. Damn. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen. Here we go. It's this one. My bad. My bad, everybody.
Found in the home, no one seen.
Here's a new banger for y'all. Here's a new one. It's a new one.
Yeah. In Somerville streets, the summer breeze blew. Janet down is light, gone too soon, we rue. A mother of four, life cut short in despair. Found in a home, no one seemed to care. 95 was the year, shadowed in pain. With whispers of justice, but it's all in vain. 15-year-old O'Brien caught in the mix. A friend of a son now trapped in the fix. Justice denied in the court of fate. A kid in the system lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. Hours after the crime, they pointed their blame, but the system's a game. It's a cold, cruel shame. O'Brien's future shattered, no chance to defend. With politics playing, it's a twisted trend. Riley steps up with his eyes on the crown and outs in his bid while the truth shuts down. 8 days after verdict, ambition in sight, playing with lies while he bathes the court of fate.
A kid in the system,
Lost in the hate.
no weapon found.
Just a story to tell.
Circumstantial truth.
Turn to prison cell. Oh, hey. Turn to prison cell. Oh, hey. They overlook clues, leave swept to the side. Inconvenient truths, where's the shame and the pride? Ignored by the cops, just chasing their tails, while the real killer laughs as justice derails. So many questions that need to arise. What's the cost of a life when the system lies? O'Brien stood tall, but the pressure was great. A child of the streets, crushed under the weight. Imprisoned by fear, trapped in the scheme, while Janet's memory fades. Lost in the dream, we fight for the truth, for the souls they mislead. Justice for Janet will plant the truth seed.
Justice denied.
In the court of fate,
A kid in the system,
lost in the hate.
no weapon found.
Just a story to tell.
Circumstantial truth.
Turn to prison cell. So we raise our voices for the truth that we hide. For Janet Downing, in her name we confide. Let's break these chains. Let's reclaim our time. A search for the truth through this lyrical rhyme. Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here. The ones you trust can make you or break you. You dig? You dig? Yeah.
Some will stretch you, twist you, pull you apart. Got a smile on their face, but they target your heart. Rip your face up with words, cut deep, no scars. You think you know loyalty till they expose who they are. They'll co-sign your dreams and throw you to the wolves. I seen them drag you down, little lies turn to drools. Test your mental, burn you out, that's the game they play. Life is too precious to waste on fakes every day.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less cell, no pride, no pride.
Super Bowl's passing, holidays come and go. While you stuck in that cell, that clock's moving slow. Frozen reality, that prison ain't just bars, it's a mind game. Psychological scars, don't act tough. Keep your circle lit and true. Real ones recognize the grind, see the struggle too. Burn me out, now I'm fueled by the pain. Got a thirst for the win, yeah, I'm bringing the flame. Jail is a battlefield, one wrong move can ruin your game. Stop with high school drama, don't let them put you to shame. Snitch not, loyalty's the code, you know the drill. Pick your comrades wisely, always stay on the real.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less time, no pride, no pride. So keep your circle small, let the real ones surround. Life's too short to get caught up in the fake and the sound. Circle of fire, we rise, we grow, no doubt. Stand tall, stay true. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here. The ones you trust can make you or break you. You dig? You dig? Yeah. Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here. The ones you trust can make you or break you. You dig? You dig? Yeah.
Some will stretch you, twist you, pull you apart. Got a smile on their face, but they target your heart. Rip your face up with words, cut deep, no scars. You think you know loyalty till they expose who they are. They'll co-sign your dreams and throw you to the wolves. I seen them drag you down, little lies turn to drugs. Mental burn you out, that's the game they play. Life is too precious to waste on fakes every day.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. Come on, die in a little less.
Everybody put your prayers out for Patricia White. Doing some health
passing, holidays come and go. While you stuck in that cell, that clock's moving slow. Frozen reality, that prison ain't just bars, it's a mind game. Psychological scars, don't act tough. Keep your circle lit and true. Real ones recognize the grind, see the struggle too. Burn me out, now I'm fueled by the pain. Got a thirst for the win, yeah, I'm bringing the flame. Jail is a battlefield, one wrong move can ruin your game. Stop with high school drama, don't let them put you to shame. Snitch not, loyalty's the code, you know the drill. Pick your comrades wisely, always stay on the real.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less time, no pride. So keep your circle small, let the real ones
small.
Life's too short to get caught up.
Just threw it out. Of course you're gonna throw it out.
Circle of fire, we rise, we grow, no doubt. Stand tall, stay true. That's what it's about.
This one goes out to TB. Out of control sexual behavior and sexual addiction. I already told you the better part of Turtle Boy ran down Mama's leg. You know what I mean? It would explain much of his behavior. Like, it's all starting to come around now. TB, you took a couple stiff ones. Like you even said in that video, you know, when that disgusting video when you're talking about the kids about taking a hot one. You know, like, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, TB. I'm sorry you were traumatized as a child, man. Or whenever that happened, because it could have been an adult knowing your weird ass. You know what I mean? But I really believe, Dan Turtle Boy, man, you know, can you tell people don't like that man? You know, can you tell people don't like him? Do people watch him just to see his downfall? I think so. What's going on, chat, man? What's up, everybody, man? It's been a couple days. I'm excited. I'm back. You know what's good? Everybody holding it down. What's going on? You know, oh, yeah, chemo does suck. Cancer sucks in general, man. Prayers up, you know, F cancer. We got to get that, you know, get it out of here, man. You know, cancer really, really sucks, man. And that's another thing that sucked about that whack shit that Turtle Boy was doing, you know, when he was rolling with that team cancer, you know, but 4 men in a bar, Turtle. You never know. 4 men in a bar. 4 men in a bar. Ratchet number 5150 saved his ass. I will say, But what's going on, everybody, man? What's going on in the chat, man? What's happening around? So what happened? I didn't actually catch the hearing. So someone said the restraining order was thrown out. Nope, the judge threw it out. I heard Lana called Turtle Boy, and he hung right up on Lana. He don't want no beef with the Lana. I wouldn't either. She's very smart, definitely investigative journalist. Very, very educated. But big shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to all my loyal members only, man. Remember the only members only jacket? Shout out everybody, man. Shout out at Denise No 43. What's going on? Always holding it down. And then Robert Marabello 5413. Shout out again. One of our, look at that, our number one chatter tonight. So ladies up in the chat. Like, subscribe, and share. Absolutely. Thank you for holding it down. You know what? Y'all great people. You really are. And everybody, prayers out there for Patricia White. Shout out to Patricia White. I love all you guys, man. You're all great. You're all loyal. You come every time. And I love that. It's like, what's up? This is like my family here, my online family. When I lost my channel before, I was like, what? Screw that shit, man. Like, I'm done. But you know what? I'm glad I came back, man. I'm glad I came back. I jumped off the porch. It was really over when JFK, Turtle Boy were beefing. Nobody had shit to say. Nobody would even say anything like they was siding with JFK. And I was like, that's kind of foul. That's kind of some foul ass shit. But I wanted to talk today about super predators. I'm kind of a little familiar with the whole super predator situation, the way it all went down. And that super predator law, that shit was some crazy ass shit. You know what I mean? And it was a total failure. Everybody was afraid of the damn kids. 95, 96. Let's see. I was just picking up my first bid, so I was like 21ish, 22. So but I seen a lot of the kids that were coming up under me, and it was something that they were talking about a real lot. The super predator law. Oh, these kids are out of control. We can't have them. We got to do something about these friggin' kids. What are we going to do? They're just out of freaking control. I had to put another video on here. But so since we're going to talk about Eddie O'Brien tonight, big shout out to JFK. And this song is it's actually one, I want to give JFK and them guys all the credit, and I never want to take credit for, the Eddie stuff, you know what I mean? Because nobody owns these cases. I mean, we all should be happy that people are talking about these cases, JFK, and I'm not saying he's upset anyone's talking, but, he mentioned that someone else went at him and said, this is my case. I made this shit. You stole it from me. And, and it's like, it ain't no one's case. Like, there's a man that we believe was wrongfully convicted. Right? So nobody owns this shit. Nobody owns this case. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody owns this case at all. But I'm going to play this quick song, and definitely credit to JFK, show off. This is, definitely their work. You know,
This is the story of Eddie,
again.
Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The system is petty, juvenile law and politics so deadly. 15 years old, known as Big Lovable Teddy. Janet Downing, 42 years old, what's the motive? Killed in her home, young mother devoted. Eddie went in the house, the door was open. She was on the kitchen floor, laying there frozen. Eddie claims this was not what he planned to see. A man with a mask grabbed him. Be quiet. I will kill your whole family. Eddie left the house, ran up the street. Around the corner, washed up in the bathroom at Burger King. Janet was stabbed multiple times. Rest in peace. It was a gruesome murder scene. I agree. Eddie went to his work, said he got jumped, but never said a thing. What? About Janet lying there lifeless, his friend's mother from across the street. Shh. He was in the house. But Janet had a brother-in-law she kicked out for selling drugs. Said if anything ever happened to her, it's him you bring up. The night of the murder, he showed up, was acting suspicious in the front yard. Gina in Virginia says he was looking for his keys. It was humid and muggy, but we were showered and neat. He was a cab driver looking for his key. Looking for a key to one of the cabs in the fleet. Yes. How did he know something happened on that street? Eddie says he is innocent, and the cab driver did it.
Who do you believe?
Believe.
DNA under Janet's fingernail unidentified. Who do you believe?
Come on, come on.
This is the story of Eddie, 15 years old.
Life in prison.
This is the story of Janet, life taken and stolen.
For no reason.
It was the summer,
July 1995.
do you all remember?
30 years ago, why she have to die?
15 years old, locked in a cage of murder that he always denied.
Let's go. Summer of 95, life goes by. Welcome to the stream, long gamers. Peace and love. La la la.
Yo, this is the story of where I come.
This is the story of Eddie, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The system is
So I wasn't saying much. I wasn't saying much. I was like spinning in circles. Shout out to Geraldine, Eddie's family. Make sure you let them know that we're pulling for him, we're rooting for him. Hoping he gets free, hoping he gets exonerated. I caught the JFK show with the state trooper, McGee. Definitely becoming a legend on these YouTube streets, legendary. That's right. If you're a legend, not good that you're still around, right? But what's up, everybody, man? How are we doing? Super predators, man. Back then in the 90s, if we talked about, I think one of the biggest moral face plants that probably America's criminal justice system probably has taken, the super predator theory. That theory was a joke. That theory was so bad. I don't even think there was any science to back that shit up. I noticed it drove it got people afraid. People were friggin' afraid. They were afraid of what? Afraid of these little punk ass kids. Everybody was afraid. And don't forget, if you want to get a membership, don't get the membership, gift the membership. Really appreciate it. Any money you send in goes to just doing better things for the podcast. Maybe trying to get some better content. I can't give people $2,000 for interviews, but I'll tell you what, Eddie, I'll go to Disney with you. JFK won't. I'll go to Disney with you. You know what I mean? Because you're a man and every man should be forgiven. So, whether you did it, whether you didn't do it, I'll go to friggin' Disney with you, Eddie. I got you. The sun is trying to come out finally in Antarctica. Oh, I thought you was really in friggin' Antarctica. I was like, what the? Antarctica? What the? I used to drive truck down there in Boston, Charlestown area. I used to drive for the post office. I used to deliver the Amazon shit to all the post offices, But yeah, so I've been, that little one, it's on like this little street. It's like a little triangle area. I've been to the post office near the river. Yes, we'll all go to Disney. Hell yeah, shit, we'll go to Disney. Shit, I walk amongst killers today. But it feels like it sometimes. I get it. Shit, we walk amongst killers today. How many people that I know? Good afternoon, Free Eddie. Absolutely. How many people that I know from the 90s that was just starting to catch their bids in the 90s and catching these schmurder charges, and they are just coming home now. So to see somebody like Eddie that's still in there over these super predator laws, and don't go nowhere because we're going to get deep on this super predator law, about the people who invented it, and then check this out. The same friggin' schmuck, right? The same idiot that came out and told America that these friggin' kids were going to run crazy all over you, right? The damage that done, everybody was afraid. That's what Riley did for the funeral, Janet's funeral. Everybody was afraid. That's why so many people came out for that. It was horrible. And Eddie O'Brien, one of the clearest examples of how a bad idea can ruin a kid's life. And let me tell you first how I came to accept that I'm pro Eddie O'Brien. And I have no problem saying I'm pro Eddie O'Brien. For one, the Downing family is never going to come out and talk to anybody. They're staying quiet. They absolutely have no reason to come out and say anything. Adi turned down $2,000, and I think it's crazy offering, setting the price at $2,000, because what do you think someone else, like, you're kind of setting the market, and it kind of, you price shit right out the market, and anything we say here is definitely opinions. I like to base my opinions on facts, but hey, I got sued already. I'm going through a lawsuit now. Shout out, I don't have a lawyer. Screwed. Mikey's screwed. But yeah, that super predator shit, that shit started the fire. That was the shit that started everything. Back in 1990, America was in a panic. Crime was high. These friggin' idiot politicians, right? They were terrified, scared to death. They didn't want to look soft, right? And the media was friggin' 24-hour anxiety machine. Remember that shit? All day long. Like, we didn't really have the internet yet, but we had cable. you know, and some of it in the 90s that are like 50, 52, you know, sometimes we was up to 2, 3 in the morning. Why? Good question. You know, no comment. Hey, you know what? They could be involved. You know, why are they not talking? What do you say, chat? Why are the Downings not talking? Do they know something? I'm not saying involved. Do they know something? You know, because I think a lot of my chat, even though I have a very small chat, and that's okay. I don't care. You know what? I'm not here for the big numbers. I'm here just to push my story. You know, that's it. If I can get my message out to you, and I don't claim to be no friggin' genius. I'm fucking street raised. You know what I mean? Listen, I ain't even gonna joke. Like the last grade that I completed in school was the seventh grade, right? And then I put myself through school, and then I eventually got my GED and all that stuff. And I self studied all my life. You know, I couldn't learn what they was teaching me in school. Like it just wasn't comprehending in my head. I had to learn the way that I had to learn. I mean, not every kid kind of picks it up the same way. I think Paul did it and Adi helped. Very good. Paul Sr. or Paul Jr.? Anybody, what do you guys think about Paul Sr., the ex-husband now? You know, I ain't throwing no theory. I am kind of throwing theories out there, but you know, we're not really talking about that, you know. But this stupid friggin' political scientist dude, right? John DeLulio, whatever his name is. Let me look him up. Let me see. Here's the, and even Todd said it. Like, what's the chances that little Eddie O'Brien, right, is gonna beat Paul was remarried, but now when we talk about juror number 6, in that testimony, they say that Paul was still married in love with Janet. When you look in the truth about Eddie O'Brien and about juror number 6. And yes, and Paul Jr. assaulted his mom a couple days before that over a gay love affair, I believe. I think Paul Jr., Adi, and Ryan, that's pretty I'll tell you what, that is pretty nasty. You do that to your mom. And to allegedly cover it up all these years later. Prayers go out, man. Prayers go out to Janet. Prayers go out to Eddie. I mean, I'm a pretty good character, like judging a wolf, man. I could see a friggin' wolf coming. You know, I mean, I think growing up with wolves, you know, living with wolves, you know, you kind of get to, and I just don't see it in Eddie and the drugs passing that friggin' truth serum. I don't see how the friggin' kid is gonna get over on that. I just have no idea. Like, I don't know. I cannot buy how he is gonna get over on the 2 tests. Adi came to clean up the scene for the kids. Yeah, you know, go over there and help them out. You know, but is it possible that, you know, because I think JFK mentions that, you know, if Adi's involved, Carol's involved, but could 2 things be true? Like, could Carol still called the cab stand? Adi, you got to get over there, and Adi's pretending. maybe Adi takes off for that ride and goes to use the payphone. That's crazy. I don't know how I could live with like having something to do with, getting rid of my sister. God forbid. What was going on? Maybe Carol didn't know the whole story, at least at first. And how many times a female covers for their man over their sister? We've seen it in the Hernandez, his girl. I mean, we see it all the time. A lot of times, a woman will go for their man over their family. That truth medicine, that's it. It's done. Adi says everybody lies, though. Adi says everybody lies. Now, I don't know. I've never talked to Mr. O'Brien or Mrs. O'Brien, and the closest I ever got to the O'Brien family is Miss Geraldine, Eddie's aunt, who's only in the chat. So, like, the O'Briens have nothing to do with, me pushing this case. I just think it's a very interesting freaking case. I mean, what does JFK say? The tentacles. But the National Predator thing would become a friggin' national headline. I mean, it ended up claiming a friggin' wave. They're saying that these kids are going to be fucking cold-blooded. Kids who can, schmurder for no reason at all. Watch out for these kids. They're going to be bad. They're going to be bad. No data, no science. We just have an idea. You got a catchy name for it. Politicians ate it up like a free pizza. Suddenly you got all these states that are rushing to pass laws, letting prosecutors overcharge. Like, this shit was really going on. Overcharging children. You know how many children's lives you ruined as adults? Like, you ruined a lot of these kids' lives. Yeah, but back in the 1990s, America was in a different groove. The panic was friggin' different. There was a lot of anxiety, man. Then along came this John DeLulio, and I'm going to look him up in just a second. I'm going to look him up in just a second. Give me 1 second and check this out. Check out this new song. Do we have it here? Hang on. I didn't want to say I got it when I don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Them the clique they tried to bury. Yeah. I'm the storm, yeah. I'm the storm they tried to bottle, the truth they tried to drown. 15 years old, they threw a king's weight on a child's crown. But I rise like a riot, like a siren in the night. And I'm calling out the dude who's been ducking the light. Name's Art Ortiz, yeah, that fraud. Moving like a shadow puppet pulled by a coward god. Every time the block shake, he the first one to vanish. Moving like guilt, wearing sneakers, sprinting off in the panic. I'm like, why you always running when the truth get loud? Why your footsteps echo different from the rest of the crowd? You slither through the alleys like a rumor with legs, but when the questions start flying, you crack like eggs. I was sitting on the porch, whole hood saw me chilling. You was creeping through the dark like a plot. You was feeling you a ghost with a heartbeat, a whisper with shoes, a silhouette sprinting off, dropping half-baked clues. I spit metaphors heavy, you the fence jumper phantom, the backyard bandit, the night shift random. You the type to leave footprints, but swear you ain't walk. The type to hear your name whispered and pretend you ain't talk. I'm the kid they tried to bury, but I grew like a vine. Truth climbing every wall, exposing every design. You the dude in the shadows, ducking every spotlight beam, moving like a glitch in the neighborhood dream. This ain't an accusation, this a lyrical rig, a metaphor for every grown man who let a child bleed, for every dude who stayed silent while a kid took the fall, for every shadow in the night who ain't stand up at all. So fictional art, so listen, I'm the storm you can't dodge. I'm the truth in the alley, I'm the ghost in the lodge. I'm the voice of the timeline, the pulse of the street, and every lie you ever told get exposed to the beat. So keep running and hiding, but you can't escape. Truth so relentless, tide your facade's gonna break. I'm the storm, I'm the light, I'm the echo, the fight. And when the beat drops down, you're gonna feel me tonight. Yeah.
Left my house feeling good, sun shining bright. So Tony G on the porch, just a casual sight. But then I glanced down his door, wide ajar. I had to check it out, my heart racing like a car. I stepped into the entrance, felt the chill of the night. Heard some noise from within, never thought it felt so right. With the creak of the door, darkness feel like a wave. What I saw left me frozen, man, I couldn't be brave. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Caught in a moment, life's a little filthy. Wasn't ready for the shadows lurking near, but I hold my ground, got nothing to fear. I called out to Janet, but silence gripped my throat. My instincts kicked in hard like I'm on a tightrope. Bend down to shake a heart pounding like a drum. But what I saw next made me feel so numb. Blood on the floor like a canvas of dread. Thoughts racing through my mind, what happened? Where's she dead? Caught in the scene like an actor in a play, hoping that somehow I could just walk away. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Life's a battlefield, got my eyes wide, feel free. Darkness all around, but I still choose to fight. Got nothing to hide, stepping into this light. In the neighborhood where shadows cast long, every step I take feels like I'm doing something wrong. But I'm just a witness caught in a strange view. Justice on the line, but what's a man to do? Finger pointed at me, but I can't take the blame. Standing tall in this arena, it's a twisted game. The sirens well outside, bringing chaos and heat. But truth is on my side, I won't accept defeat. Life's a rough patch, it's a turbulent sea. But in the stormy moment, I stand, I am free. No incriminations here, it's just a misunderstanding. But time will reveal truths, no need for demanding. So I keep my head high, I won't falter or bow. Charging through the thick air, stating here and now. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Caught in a whirlwind, but I stand gracefully. Life's twisted plots can try to bring me down, but I'm stronger than the shadows. Wear the truth like a crown.
Oh yeah, I'm over here operating in 2 computers. Damn, let's go.
Yeah.
Geraldine, can we keep it real? Number 5 at gmail.com. Can we keep it real? Number 5 at
The Somerville streets, the summer breeze blew. Janet down his light, gone too soon, we rue. A mother of 4, life cut short in despair. Found in in the home, no one seemed to care. 95 was the year, shadowed in pain, with whispers of justice, but it's all in vain. 15-year-old O'Brien caught in the mix, a friend of a son now trapped in the fix. Justice denied in the court of fate, a kid in the system lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. Hours after the crime, they pointed their blame, but the system's a game, it's a cold, cruel shame. O'Brien's future shattered, no chance to defend, with politics playing, it's a twisted trend. Riley steps up with his eyes on the crown, and out in his bid while the truth shuts down. 8 days after verdict, ambition in sight, playing with lies while he bathes in the light. Justice denied in the court of fate, a kid in the system lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. Turn to prison cell. They overlook clues, leave swept to the side. Inconvenient truths, where's the shame and the pride? Ignored by the cops, just chasing their tails, while the real killer laughs as justice derails. So many questions that need to arise. What's the cost of a life when the system lies? O'Brien stood tall, but the pressure was great. A child of the streets, crushed under the weight. Imprisoned by fear, trapped in the scheme, while Janet's memory fades, lost in the dream. We fight for the truth, for the souls they mislead. Justice for Janet will plant the truth seed. Justice denied in the court of fate, a kid in the system lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. So we raise our voices for the truth that we hide. For Janet Downing, in her name we confide. Let's break these chains, let's reclaim our time. A search for the truth through this lyrical rhyme. Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here.
I bet $1 I'll do that every stream, probably a couple times. Thank you. You know, so I don't have all them, you know, them great people like Heavy Kev up here and Jay Brill. Nah, shout out to them. What they do is great. You know, Heavy Kev always got. Whenever Heavy Kev opens his mouth, you're gonna get some bars. Like, the dude is very, very smart, very intelligent. You know, I'll tell you what though, I would love to battle. I'll go against JFK. You know what I mean? And like that, it wouldn't even be fair. You know, as far as like me saying why Eddie should not, like, didn't do this. Like, because he said him and Jay Brill, right, is going to do They're going to debate each other. Yo, shout out to Rando. Shout out to Lala just joining us. What's going on? Jay Brill and JFK are going to debate each other. I would definitely debate JFK. You know what I mean? As to why Eddie is going to be cleared of this. Oh, I would definitely do that. Because I lay down, like I'm driving all night long. I'm thinking of this stuff like I done lay down 100 great reasons. You know, and one right here is what we're talking about right now. This super predator law alone, the myth that started fire back in the friggin' 1990s, because crime was friggin' high and politicians, they weren't terrified. They were ready to make some money because, you know what? Let's build some prisons because if you build them friggin' places, we'll fill them. And the media, you had that 24-hour snap, you know what I mean? And John DeLulio, this guy came up, oh yeah, he figured we'll call them super predators. You know, scare everybody. Hang on. He came up with the super predator term. Let me see if there's any pictures of this friggin' jackass. Yeah, let me share this. Yeah, John DeLulio came up with that phrase. I'm going to share this 1 second. You know, that would become basically a national friggin', eventually become a friggin' curse word. He said these kids are going to be blood-sucking, remorseful, that they're just not going to have any heart at all. You know, but there was no data behind none of this shit. And the politicians ate that shit up like candy. They ate it up. And here you have a 15-year-old kid, Eddie O'Brien, right, who's suddenly accused of a brutal murder, right? No blood, you know, on him, no motive, no physical evidence, right, tying him to the 98 wounds. But the Commonwealth, see, they didn't need evidence. You know what? They had something better. They had a super predator narrative. Eddie wasn't treated like a confused kid in a chaotic situation. He was treated like the poster child for a political theory. A DA's office that didn't just prosecute Eddie O'Brien. They performed the friggin' prosecution. They leaned into the fear of the city, the optics, the tough on crime. See, I won't say facts, but I'll tell someone to challenge me. This is all my opinion and what I believe. See, the public, primed by years of media panning, was ready to believe that a 15-year-old boy, right, that looks like this kid, Eddie O'Brien, transformed into a monster on command on that night, but never again. Never again. Tell me where I'm wrong. I'm not going to say facts, but I'll say challenge me on this shit. Challenge me. Challenge me. I mean, let's break this down why the theory was garbage. Because the John DeLulio's theory wasn't based on real data. It wasn't based on nothing real. It was based on juvenile crime was already coming down at that point, right? When he even published his idiotic theory, right? But it ignored adolescent brain science because I think McGee said 23, the brain developed. I thought it was more like 27, but like I said, 7th grade education. I'm self-taught. You know, kids are impulsive, emotionally, and easily influenced, right? I mean, shit, my kids are, you know, and some of these kids from the 90s, no remorse at all. You know, it was racially coded, absolutely. There was a panic. I mean, it was really around the country, it was targeting Black and Latino youth, but it spilled over onto all kids that were caught in the system, caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then John DeLulio, right? The friggin' guy, the brainstorm that created this shit, right? That started this super predator crazy nonsense, right? He later says he was completely wrong about the whole friggin' thing. I'm catastrophically wrong. Imagine that. Imagine that. You get all these laws changed. Why Eddie got locked up. I'm not lying. Please, Reese, please. Test me on this. Check me on this, please. You know, and you're welcome to hit them goals. I think I got some goals up there. You know, appreciate that. But check me on this. But by the time the truth came out, right, thousands of kids, including Eddie, had already been fed into the system like raw friggin' meat. And they thought they would get eaten up alive. Eaten alive, bro. And how it poisoned Eddie's case. The super predator panic created, you know, an environment that was just man, oh man, like prosecutors were rewarded for charging kids as adults. Imagine that. Imagine you filthy friggin' animals. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Absolutely. Thank you. And we'll have more of that. You know, we're just over here, you know, jamming and praying, right? We ain't spraying and praying. We jamming and praying. But imagine these filthy friggin' rotten maggots. Kids. Charging kids as adults. I'm glad I just skated by that era. Judges, I mean, just about. Judges were pressured to get tough. And juries, let me tell you, you know, I think it was that dude Foreman. He said, like, the average jury barely has a high school diploma. Imagine plumb dumb. Imagine some of these juries with your life in their hand. Yeah, I was hoping we could have heard more what Todd had to say, but I think Todd might be coming back on the show. You know, I'm sure Jay Brill will pop in and maybe let us know. You know, I think he said that Todd was going to be back on the show. You know, but I think I would be dependent on the case. I think I would kind of go for a jury trial. You know, dependent on the judge. But even judges was pushing these teenagers as threats, not children. They were numbers. The evidence, the standards, that shit all go looser, right? Loopholes, you could slide through them a little easier because the narrative ended up filling the friggin' gaps. They were doing this shit to kids. And then you got mothers like Mrs. O'Brien that's out there like, my baby never hurt nobody. He's a good boy. Where did I go wrong? Crying on their hands and their knees. I've seen it. I've seen it. What did I do? I tried to raise a good boy. You know, I raised him right. You know, his father was tough with him. And another problem with kids in that era, they were taking all the hustlers, you know, and the dudes that are out there getting money, you know, but they had their shit together. They weren't all screwed up on friggin' on drugs, and they put all them in jail too. So guess what? It left all the addicts on the street, right, to raise these kids in the 90s, to raise them. It left all these addicts out there. Yeah, you guys do it. And then you wonder why these kids ended up on demon time. The worst era ever of fatherless homes, I would say. The worst era ever of fatherless homes. So Eddie O'Brien, he wasn't tried as Eddie O'Brien. He was a friggin' symbol. He was a number. He was a talking point. You know, like politicians was licking their lips like they got a boner. Excuse me, but I'm sure you know what I mean. The Commonwealth didn't have to prove that this dude was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. They just didn't have to. They only had to prove that he fit the story. And in 95, the story was everything. The story was everything. The aftermath. Decades later, the super predator theory universally recognized as a complete failure, a moral failure, a political disaster. I know that much. Even states are even coming back on the juvenile transfer laws. The same laws that got changed to convict Eddie as an adult. Imagine that. And the courts are now saying that, oh no, their brain is not developed. Even the Supreme Court ruled repeatedly that children are constitutionally different from adults. But what happened in Eddie O'Brien's case? Can Eddie O'Brien use that? But Eddie, is he still living under a sentence built on a myth? Because that's what that sentence was built on. It was built on a myth. His time would already be served. A myth that never should have existed, ever. It's a myth that collapsed under its own weight. That law shouldn't be around. That shit costs and how many other 15-year-old boys their entire life? You know, and they thought Eddie, you know, see what Eddie should have got, you know, hypothetically, let's say if Eddie had anything to do with this, Eddie should have got juvenile corrections, rehabilitation, you know, counseling, stuff like that. Let's figure him out, send him to the cookie factory, you know. But no, Riley sent him he said he's going to get eaten alive up there. I don't know. They just love this stuff sometimes once they get in that DA's office. You know, it's just about the power. So when people ask, how did Eddie O'Brien get convicted so fast with so little evidence, with so many unanswered questions? And what did Todd say? Eddie would have had blood on him, the clothes, transfer blood. Even if he changed his clothes, bro, like, it's not happening. Even when he changed his clothes, blood is going to spray. You poke somebody once, blood sprays out in 3 directions. You poke somebody 98 times, you got the fountain of royal. The answer's simple. This dude wasn't convicted by facts. He was convicted by an era that believed in monsters. Let's just tell him that this dude's a friggin' monster. Look at the size of him. And they needed a villain. And that villain was a little white Irish kid. Go figure, man. From the North End, right? Times are different with the media. You're right. Now they go against the police. They're like, yo, because we're in a democratic state. But let me tell you, that's going to come back to bite you. Because until the courts get this damage that era caused, Eddie O'Brien is really a tragic casualty. Yeah, share. Build this platform. Help me out. Share this shit. Get the algorithm going. Let's go. You all are welcome to send me any kind of material you want. Can we, to a limit, of course, ladies. Come on. Be respectful. Just kidding. Yeah, any kind of case, I love to talk about the Justin Root thing pretty soon. Because what happened to him was like there's just so many questions why the body cam wasn't on. Yeah, definitely want to talk about that. Yeah, share this. Yo, that was some crazy shit. Some bell just rang. It kind of spooked me a little bit. Now I got a Chucky doll looking at me. Damn. The media created a myth that, this was him talking about, how the media created, the super predator. Like these are all the ceremonies that these people were having, real good, oh yeah, we're doing this to all these kids. And look, elder predators, like it's so nice. Yeah, we're getting all these criminals, these hard criminals off the street. Yeah, right. And Angel just got their wings. You heard that bell, right? I don't know where that shit came from. Well, I really don't. I mean, wifey's not here, but maybe one of my grandkids' toys. But every time a bell rings, ding ding, you hit that super chat. Ring ring. I was wondering why I couldn't see the chat. Now it's back. Not sure. A lot of times, sometimes it's playing on the screen. Sometimes it's playing on the screen. So let's see what this says about this guy, John. It says that the super predator myth coined by John DiIulio in 1995 falsely predicted a surge of remorseless juvenile criminals, fueling a nationwide panic and harsher juvenile sentencing laws. Origins of the myth. In 1995, Princeton professor John DiIulio Jr. introduced the term super predator in a cover story for the Weekly Standard describing supposedly a wave of radically impulsive, brutally remorseless youths who would commit violent crimes without conscience or future consideration. DeLuglio attributed this behavior to moral poverty, claiming that children lacking responsible adult guidance were predisposed. What do they think about kids now? God damn. Were predisposed to criminality. He predicted that by 2000, tens of thousands of these super predators would be roaming, goddamn, really? Would be roaming United States streets, particularly, oh, of course, right, in black inner city neighborhoods. Yeah, sure they will. Media was going to amplify it and public panic, and they quickly did, using terms like Wilden and Wolfpack to describe juvenile offenders, often radicalizing the narrative. The coverage created a moral panic, portraying young crimes as an escalating, uncontrollable threat. Portraying youth crime, as an escalating, uncontrollable threat. The imagery of children as hardened, remorseless juvenile contributed to widespread fear and influenced public opinion and policy making. The super predator myth directly influenced juvenile justice legislation in 1990. Nearly every state passed laws that treated juveniles as adults. Every friggin' state. Tell me if that shit didn't take off. All across the damn country. Life without parole sentences for minors. Crazy, right? Federal proposals, such as those supported by Senator John Ashcroft, sought to give prosecutors greater flexibility to try violent juveniles as adults. These policies disproportionately to give prosecutors greater flexibility. And it affected black youth, reinforcing systematic racial disparities in the justice system. By 1990, violent juvenile crime rates were already coming down, contrary to DeLuglio's predictions. Imagine that. Research and legal reviews included amicus briefs in cases like Miller v. Alabama demonstrated that the super predator theory was scientifically unfounded and exaggerated. DeLuglio himself later acknowledged that the predictions were incorrect and expressed regret for the unintended consequences of his theory. Regret? There's people still in prison, bro. There's people still in prison right now. Imagine that. Let's hope so. Like, still in prison now. Like, there's people, and Eddie's not the only one. Eddie is just one of the local cases, and he's the most tragic casualty in all this. And of course, again, we always keeping it real. You already know. Appreciate y'all. Hit the super chats. If you don't mind, get a membership. Gift a membership. We really appreciate that. I need some coffee. Anyone want to give me a coffee? But yeah, this is crazy. Like, totally insane. You know, the Super Predator lie, how they did Eddie O'Brien friggin' dirty. I mean, because this stuff right here, this is what happens when the system decides a story is more important than the friggin' truth, right? Because back in 1990, America's lost its damn mind. They lost its marbles. Shit. Politicians, you know, everybody. They were out of control. They're like, every kid was the friggin' boogeyman. Oh, don't mess with him. Like, he's a little teenager. What are you talking about? A kid? A kid. A teenager. A kid. Yeah, come on. A kid, yo. Like, really? A teenager. That's crazy. But supposedly with no conscience, no remorse, no feelings, what, just evil? You know, what are these kids turning into? Terminator? And that's the wild part. With no science behind this either. This guy, John, just got up one day and said, oh, yeah, kids are going to be out of freaking control. Why? Because his nephew and nieces that was his data. He had no friggin' data. He had no research. Just fear. A lot of fear. Oh, these kids are freaking crazy. Racism. Oh, dude, come on. Absolutely a ridiculous theory. Shout out to Miss Patricia. You know, definitely what a ridiculous theory. And this guy got a PhD. This guy just wanted attention. This guy just wanted attention. It was over. And the problem is, all right, this shit's over. This is over. But what about, like, all the people that are still incarcerated for this shit? States started passing laws like they were on clearance, charging kids as adults. Lock them up. No second chances. None. Just lock them up. Lock them all up. They loved it. It made politicians look tough. Oh, yeah, I got tough. I sent a fucking little kid to jail for like double life. I mean, the media loved it because it sold newspapers. Prosecutors loved it because it made their jobs easy. And then Eddie O'Brien. Eddie friggin' O'Brien, man. Eddie O'Brien. This poor 15-year-old kid. Yes, I am convinced. Like, you know what? The Downing family is never going to talk. Never gonna talk. I guess some guy robbed it. Supposedly, JFK was saying some guy robbed it. They were making money and got them better jobs agendas. Yeah, I guess some guy robbed it. Actually, has the footage. You know, but I guess he don't want to give it up to JFK and them guys. I think that's the story that I was understanding. You know, but he was like, give us the footage, you know, and it'll only help. That's what I was getting from what I was seeing last night. But you know what? No blood, right? No motive, right? What's the motive? No physical evidence, right? Tying him to 98 wounds. No evidence. But guess what? The Commonwealth didn't need any friggin' evidence. They had a narrative. Eddie wasn't a friggin' normal kid. Look at this kid. He's a monster. He's a monster. He wasn't treated like a damn suspect either. He was treated like a symbol, the face of the super predator panic. They didn't say it out loud, but the energy was clear. And not only that, I guess they won't give up the footage. Another thing JFK said was that, we got a nasty message, people saying, that, oh, this was my story and you stole it and you took it. For one, these stories ain't anybody. This for one public record. You know what I mean? Come on, we're trying to free a man, so I don't really know what's going on with all that. I don't know the backstory. Like I said, I don't know JFK. I don't know any of them guys. I just know them from social media. But I guess some guy Robert has the footage, and he don't want to give it up to JFK. Can I get it? Can I get it? Robert isn't using footage. He'll be using clips. I wish I could find some clips. If anyone gets clips, definitely send them to me. Can we keep it real 5@gmail.com? Help me build this shit up. If you find me some clips, you find me some information, because I try to be looking as much as I can. For as much shit as I can get. But this is what we've been warning people about, man. Oh, this is the monster. They didn't investigate, and that's what Todd was saying. The problem is you don't stop investigating. Well, they did. They didn't question their own assumptions. They didn't even slow down to see what was going on. They just shoved him straight into adult court like he was some horror movie villain. Oh, we got him because in 95, fear was louder than facts. Why the super predator theory was trashed from day one. Let's break that down a little bit. The numbers weren't real. Juvenile crime was dropping. The science was bullshit. Kids' brains aren't even fully developed. They're impulsive, not evil. They ain't friggin' evil, you jackass. And it's racist as hell. That shit was designed to target black and brown kids, but it ended up hitting everybody. Kind of like AIDS, caught in the wrong moment. Even a dude who invented it, he was like, yo, my bad. I screwed up. He said he was wrong. So shouldn't you, if he says he was wrong, really? The damage was done. Kids are already being thrown into adult prisons like they were disposable. Come on. How is screwed Eddie? The super predator panic? What are you doing? Created a courtroom environment where prosecutors got rewarded. Come on, cut it out. Prosecutors got rewarded for being tough. Go play. Judges didn't want to look soft. Right? Juries weren't primed to see teenagers as threats. Like really? So your nephew Richie, you know what I mean? Like, it just makes no sense. if Robert, if he has the court TV footage, he might have the VHS footage. They might, like, somebody has, some other people have that footage. They're saying court TV wants 98 cents a second. And I know it's right around the time before everything went digital. So a lot of things weren't really archived, or a lot of things are still on them big, them big friggin', them big friggin' tapes that they used to have. I mean, I was thinking the library. How about the news channels? Sometimes they let you go there and go through some of the archives. Yeah, but if anybody can help get anything, send me something. If the O'Briens have some paperwork, $90 a second, shit, that's expensive. And if you look in this case, I don't think evidence mattered as much as the story itself. Eddie wasn't convicted, right, by proof. I know it is insane. It's friggin' crazy that they get that much money. What was he convicted by? Oh, I gotta feel by fear, by politics, by O'Reilly, failing on the last 7 schmurders. Right? He wanted a villain more than he wanted the friggin' truth. I gotta actually share this. Did everybody share this and like it? I don't know why nobody's or JFK and them alive too. But yeah, so he wasn't like Eddie O'Brien. He's just another kid, right? Another one that they slapped that label on him. It was a wrap. But the reality, right? Years later, the whole super predator theory, right? That shit's been exposed as a complete failure. A total failure. A national friggin' embarrassment. But people are still in prison. A fucking disaster. Courts are now admitting that kids are different. But what about the kids that you're locked up already? States already rolled back that juvenile transfer law. So what does that mean? The same law that you changed, are you going to be able? So I think he's going to be able to use this alone. Like the same transfer laws that you used to put me here. You changed them because you said they were messed up. Science has caught up. But now Eddie, we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, he's still sitting under a sentence built on a lie, built on a myth. I really believe a lie that never should have even existed. A lie that ruined lives. A lie that turned scared 15-year-old into a political trophy. So when people start asking, how did Eddie get convicted so fast with so little evidence and so many holes in the story? The answer is simple. He wasn't convicted by the truth. Right? He was convicted by the times that needed monsters, right? They needed that fear. They needed to put fear in the community for this shit to work. And that shit turned children into headlines. Why it didn't? And until the system admits what it did, come on now, we know how the kids were in the 90s. Eddie O'Brien will always be the example of how a friggin' myth, how a lie, straight up lie, destroyed a kid's life. Right, convicted by an agenda. He said he has it and won't give it, and I'm not sure what's going on. I think there's and I can understand the O'Briens. The O'Briens probably are at like, you either with me or you against me. And in a way I can understand that. And I think, and Mr. and Mrs. O'Brien, and I can understand, if you ain't talking positive about my kid, then don't say nothing at all about my kid. That's how they feel. JFK's coming from, a different point of view, But yeah, it's I'll tell you what, it's getting interesting, man. But yeah, how a straight up lie, basically destroyed this kid's life. Straight up destroyed it. Foul as hell they did Eddie. The Commonwealth can dress it up as much as they want, but the whole country was moving weird back then. Everybody was looking for someone to blame for crime. Everybody. Some dude in a suit comes out talking about super predators. Get the hell out of here. Basically said kids were turning into emotionless killers. Like what? No feelings, no conscience, nothing. But people bought that shit. Walking around like shit. Like I'm afraid of this kid, like Jason Voorhees clones and shit. And yo, everybody ate that shit up like it was gospel. Well, like I said, I'll go to Disney with Eddie O'Brien. JFK said he won't, but I'll go to Disney with Eddie. Shit.
I'll go. I'll take our
kids whether he did it or not. And I say whether he did it or not, you know what? Let your boy out. Because he done his gray share of time. And really, they changed the law that they shouldn't have changed, and that's what he was convicted on. So he was convicted on a law that they no longer have. They changed it mainly for him. And then years later, they changed it back. Come on. The kid did 30 friggin' years. You know, I mean, he has to Geraldine. He has to. I mean, he has to come forward and be like, I didn't kill that person. You know, like this one did. And they're probably just getting frustrated over there.
They haven't had their baby in their life since they were 15. Find someone else committed.
You know, like lock these kids up forever. You know, that's how stupid the era was. I was just gonna say, I think initially JFK thought he was, for some reason, he has now become unconvinced of his innocence. Not sure why. Well, you know, sometimes you don't know what people say for the cameras. Sometimes it's all about the hustle. You know? I mean, just think about this. Anybody after a lie detector test and the truth serum, and it's like, I don't know. How do you not? How do you not think that the kid's innocent? But JFK has the right to feel that, you know, and of course, JFK also wants to get other guests to come on his show from the other side. And I think if you keep free Eddie, free Eddie, free Eddie, like this is a free Eddie show, like this one is, you know, because I'm convinced. I mean, I'll still welcome someone else on if they wanted to come on and talk. Like if somebody from the Downing family wanted to come on the show, I'll wear the damn t-shirt. I'll wear it. I'm gonna send you an email and give you my information. I'll wear the Free Eddie t-shirt. Absolutely, man. You know, and you know, I hope that we can get Ed Jr. out, you know, so Big Ed can actually, you know, hug his son out in the free world. You know, that'll be nice. That's something that Jay Brill said that he really wanted to do. Jay Brill sounded, you know, I communicated once with Jay Brill, and I think that Jay Brill really has sincere feelings for the O'Brien family. Raised 2K for Audie to speak for 30 minutes, but Eddie's Rule 30 is barely at 1K. Ouch. Ouch. And the problem with that, and I already said, like, you're just kind of pricing it out the pop, you know, for anybody. Well, yeah. Someone just said Eddie had no blood on him. He had no motive. No blood, no motive, no physical evidence tying him to the 98 times.
He would have had cuts. Like my nana. My nana had all kinds of cuts on her hand.
And I like what can we keep it real 5@gmail.com. Let me see if I got it. I might have it on one of these banners. Can we keep it real? One word, the number 5@gmail.com. I'm gonna play some videos real quick. Give me 1 second. I got something I gotta do. You know, we'll play some of the new songs. which we already been playing. We got a couple of new jams, and we'll play the songs that we had last week. Where is that? Hey, give me 1 second. We'll get this tuned up. And that to the stage. Go there. Oh, I gotta take that one down. There it is.
In Somerville streets, the summer breeze blew. Janet down is light, gone too soon, we rue. A mother of four, life cut short in despair. Found in a home, no one seemed to care. 95 was the year, shadowed in pain. With whispers of justice, but it's all in vain. 15-year-old O'Brien caught in the mix. A friend of a son now trapped in the fix. Justice denied in the court of fate. A kid in the system lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. Hours after the crime, they pointed their blame, but the system's a game. It's a cold, cruel shame. O'Brien's future shattered, no chance to defend. With politics playing, it's a twisted trend. Riley steps up with his eyes on the crown and outs in his bid. Why the truth shuts down 8 days after verdict, ambition in sight. Playing with lies while he bathes in the light. Justice denied in the court of fate. A kid in the system lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. Turn to prison cell. They overlook clues, leave swept to the side. Inconvenient truths, where's the shame and the pride? Ignored by the cops, just chasing their tails, while the real killer laughs as justice derails. So many questions that need to arise. What's the cost of a life when the system lies? O'Brien stood tall, but the pressure was great. A child of the streets, crushed under the weight. Imprisoned by fear, trapped in the scheme, while Janet's memory fades, lost in the dream. We fight for the truth, for the souls they mislead. Justice for Janet will plant the truth seed. Justice denied in the court of fate. A kid in the system lost in the hate. No weapon found, just a story to tell. Circumstantial truth turned to prison cell. So we raise our voices for the truth that we hide. For Janet Downing, in her name we confide. Let's break these chains. Let's reclaim our time. A search for the truth through this lyrical rhyme. Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here. The ones you trust can make you or break you. You dig? You dig? Yeah.
Some will stretch you, twist you, pull you apart. Got a smile on their face, but they target your heart. Rip your face up with words, cut deep, no scars. You think you know loyalty till they expose who they are. They'll co-sign your dreams and throw you to the wolves. I seen them drag you down, little lies turn to drools. Test your mental, burn you out, that's the game they play. Life is too precious to waste on fakes every day.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less cell, no pride, no pride.
Super Bowls passing, holidays come and go. While you stuck in that cell, that clock's moving slow. Frozen reality, that prison ain't just bars, it's a mind game. Psychological scars, don't act tough. Keep your circle lit and true. Real ones recognize the grind, see the struggle too. Burn me out, now I'm fueled by the pain. Got a thirst for the win, yeah, I'm bringing the flame. Jail is a battlefield, one wrong move can ruin your game. Stop with high school drama, don't let them put you to shame. Snitch not, loyalty's the code, you know the drill. Pick your comrades wisely, always stay on the real.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less time, no pride, no pride. So keep your circle small, let the real ones surround. Life's too short to get caught up in the fake and the sound. Circle of fire, we rise, we grow, no doubt. Stand tall, stay true. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here. The ones you trust can make you or break you. You dig? You dig? Yeah. Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here. The ones you trust can make you or break you. You dig? You dig? Yeah.
Some will stretch you, twist you, pull you apart. Got a smile on their face, but they target your heart. Rip your face up with words, cut deep, no scars. You think you know loyalty till they expose who they are. They'll co-sign your dreams and throw you to the wolves. I seen them drag you down, little lies turn to drools. Test your mental, burn you out, that's the game they play. Life is too precious to waste on fakes every day.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less cell, no pride, no pride.
Super Bowls passing, holidays come and go. While you stuck in that cell, that clock's moving slow. Frozen reality, that prison ain't just bars, it's a mind game. Psychological scars, don't act tough. Keep your circle lit and true. Real ones recognize the grind, see the struggle too. Burn me out, now I'm fueled by the pain. Got a thirst for the win, yeah, I'm bringing the flame. Jail is a battlefield, one wrong move can ruin your game. Stop with high school drama, don't let them put you to shame. Snitch not, loyalty's the code, you know the drill. Pick your comrades wisely, always stay on the real.
Choose your circle wisely, keep it tight, don't let them in. The wrong people will drain you. It's a battle, where to begin? Life given by your honor, don't you let it slide. You're gonna die in a little less time, no pride, no pride. So keep your circle small, let the real ones surround. Life's too short to get caught up in the fake and the sound. Circle of fire, we rise, we grow, no doubt. stand tall, stay true. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Listen up. It's real out here. The ones you trust can make you or break you. You dig? You dig?
It's heavy in the air when a father turns to shadows. How could you even dare? Yo, Will Henry, you a sucker. Let's break it down. Claim you a man, but where's your crown? Put your hands up, kid. You taught him how to fight, but you ain't fighting right, man. This ain't no light. You grab your son, run off like a thief in the night. Where's the love? This ain't how you raise a child, right?
Kicking your son out like he's just a game piece. How you claim to be a dad, forgetting his release.
Will Henry, you a sucker. Can't you see the glare? Claiming blackmailing the myth. You think no one cares? Special needs child, you're running from the truth.
But every word you spit just reveals your own you.
Admitting the violence, it's hard for me to trust. Fighting your kid, nah, that's just unjust. 6'2", but he's still your son at the core. Raising fists over lessons, that ain't what you're for. Talk about forgiveness, but you let ego reign. Dragging things out like a puppet on a chain. You think you're tough, man, but underneath is weak. Claiming power with fists when it should be love you seek. Allegations swirling, made public and raw. Yet you try to justify and glaze over the flaw. Just look in the mirror, see the man you become. A name in the charts, but what's under that drum? Will Henry, you a sucker, got all eyes on you. Blackmailing violence, is that the best you can do? Special needs child, you claim it's all fine, but the truth's in the lineup is living in every line. Will Henry, you a sucker, got all eyes on you. Blackmailing violence, is that the best you can do? Special needs child, you claim it's all fine, but the truth's in the lineup is living in every line.
Look, I'm not built to watch a man tear down his own. You need to change direction before the seed you sown. A name ain't a warrior.
What is going on, everybody, man? What's cracking today? What's happening, everybody, man? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. You know, shout out to my man, Jay Brilliant. You know what I mean? Everyone say what's up to Jay Brill. You know, you know what? Big shout out to Jay Brill. You know, out of control sexual behavior and sexual addiction. I already told you the better part of Turtle Boy ran down Mama's leg. You know what I mean? It would explain much of his behavior. Like, it's all starting to come around now. TB, you took a couple stiff ones. Like you even said in that video, you know, when you, that disgusting video, when you're talking about the kids about taking a hot one, you know, like, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, TB. I'm sorry you were traumatized as a child, man. Or whenever that happened, because it could have been an adult knowing your weird ass. You know what I mean? But I really believe that you went so crazy on Alex because it was you that was abused. Was it a stranger danger? Or was it like, you know, dad's best friend, Uncle Willie, you know, or the guy that kind of came over, you know, like the pretend uncle? Or was it a stranger? Because you remember that stranger danger shit years ago? Stranger danger, watch out for the stranger. But it wasn't the stranger that was molesting your ass. It was someone in the family? What was it, TB? And please, somebody clip this and send this to him, because I just want him to know what I really think of him. You know what I mean, TB?
Yo, bitch boy. Listen up, gotta talk to you now. The game's up, we ain't buying what you selling somehow. Yeah,
We can't take much more of this bullshit, man. You parade around town like some kind of fan. Award-winning journalist, nah, just a fraud with balanced stuff. Is that the game that you applauded? You ask your chat, what's the hot news today? When it's you in the mirror, the one that led you astray. Bitch, boy, no glory. Your stories in the trash. Pathetic, deceptive, turn your dreams to ash. You painted your own mess, now drown in the doubt. Fake news king, this is what it's all about. You became the cringe, the laughing stock of it all. Claiming awards, but it's just a paper wall. Blogging ain't journalism, see that's a crime. Real talk, you spitting slime, wasting all of our time. Shout out to Ad Baker Broken, he's down with the cause. Don't you dare attack, that ain't no applause. Stand with the real, never with the fake. Cause we don't fuck with clowns and all the moves they make. Bitch, boy, no glory. Your stories in the trash. Pathetic, deceptive, turn your dreams to ash. You painted your own mess, now drown in the doubt. Fake news king, this is what it's all about. Fake news king, this is what it's all about. It's all about. Fake news king, this is what it's all about. Sick of your lies, tired of your deceit. Shirley Max, man, heard your mama's toughest cries on repeat. This ain't a game, you made your bed, now sleep in the mess. The world ain't your playground, it's time to confess. You thought you were tough, thought we were blind, but now we see the truth and it's making us refine. Aiden, Kearney, Kate, Peter, all the ones you side with. Your crew's full of losers, that's easy to find it. So back up, take a step, recognize your fate. No sympathy for snakes, yeah, your time's running late. Yeah, bitch, boy, we gon' rise above your lies. This rebel anthem, hear the truth that never dies. In the struggle together, no more choking on your spin. We break the bonds you made, it's time to begin. Fake news king, this is what it's all about. Fake news king, this is what it's all about. Fake news king, this is what it's all about. This is all about. Fake news king, this is what it's all about.
Yo, bitch boy, listen up, gotta talk to you now. The game's up, we ain't buying what you're selling somehow.
Yeah, we can't take much more of this bullshit, man. You parade around town like some kind of fan. Award-winning journalist, nah, just a fraud with balanced stuff. Is that the game that you applauded? You ask your chat, what's the hot news today? When the heal, not divide, make the difference worthwhile. Now let's get real, it's time to change the narrative. Stand together, bring the positive imperative. Let's be your voice that speaks for the weak. United we rise, broken cultures can't speak. Yeah. Let's talk about the truth, let's keep it real. Blair's got a history that's hard to conceal. Turtle boy trolls with that fake account vibe. This is a community, we gotta unite.
Yeah. Listen up, it's time to talk. No more hiding behind lies. Let's take a walk.
Can't take much more, your bullshit gets old. You claim you're an award winner, but your heart's ice cold. Fraud and deception, that's your playbook, my dude. Stuffing ballot boxes, you're just stealing the mood. You're not a journalist, nah, you're just a blogger. Wanna be on top, but you're playing the wrong card here. Change the game, now you flip the script. More despicable, every day got your whole life flipped.
Turtle boy, you see through the mask you wear. Truth tells, cutting deep like a knife, it ain't fair. Turtle boy, you made this mess, you drown in your lies, only you to blame. It's reflected in your crime. Turtle boy, we see through the mask you wear. Truth cutting deep like a knife, it ain't fair. You made this mess, you drown in your lies, only you to blame. It's reflected in your crime.
That Baker broken, he stands tall. Ain't that the truth? Locked in the battle with the heart of gold. Got proof, Down syndrome. Never a reason to attack. You act like a coward hiding in your own whack. You call it journalism, but I see through your game. Pathetic little loser, you should be ashamed. Turn the mirror, see the monster that you grown. Can't wash the dirt, it's forever on your throne.
Turtle boy, we see through the mask you wear. Truth cutting deep like a knife, it ain't fair. You made this mess, you drown in your lies, only you to blame. It's reflected in your cries. Turtle boy, we see through the mask you wear. Truth cutting deep like a knife, it ain't fair. You made this mess, you drown in your lies, only you to blame. It's reflected in your cries.
Standing with Aiden,
Kate, no will, no thanks. You're marching down a path where nobody gives thanks. Ray from Dallas into McHale, recruit too. Associate to mess with nothing good to pursue. Shirley Max, we heard the toughest cries, mama's pain, but you drowned them all out, left them lost in the rain.
You created the shit you're sitting in now. The world ain't your playground, so take a bow. Can we keep it real? Let's break it down clear. You're not even close to the truth, you just disappear. So hold your breath, think about what you've done. Living in your fantasy, but you're weighing a ton. No applause for the fraud, no crown for the fool. This is from your boy, let the truth be the tool. We can't take much more, and neither should you. Time to face the truth. This the least you can do. Shut it down, Turtle Boy. Let the real ones rise. This the gritty anthem. No more disguise. Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm back. I see people asking about Alex in the chat. You know, I think it's better off that I think we really hurt Alex a lot by exposing a lot of things. You know, I think Alex went through a lot of BS out in Dallas. But I know Alex is, still in truck driver school. He had some big accomplishments recently, pertaining to his license. So from what I understand, Alex is doing good. I'm not sure about the update about what's going on with Ray. But I think every time that we was talking about Alex, we just brought him so much heat. He got kicked out of his house, and I'm sure Alex probably thinks, was it all worth it, but prayers for Alex. I'm sure he's doing good. I'm on his Facebook, so yeah, anyway, I just hope everything has calmed. That's what I say. I hope his life is getting back to normal, because exactly. Very perspective. I think the amount of vulnerability is exactly, so shout out to Alex, and I bet we made him feel good knowing that people across the country cared about what he was going through, and what TV did to him. Painful. He should be looking for a civil attorney. He definitely should. Yeah, it wasn't right, but I hope that Alex is being the best man that he can be, and sooner or later you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, if that makes sense. And that revolving door that prison has, and for Alex to come out and say what he said, really, really took a lot. It wasn't easy. Yeah, Ray from Dallas is still doing his thing on YouTube, out of sight, out of mind. I figured maybe we could start getting into, doing what we want to do, right? Like maybe helping Eddie. How about talking about the Justin Root case? I'm thinking about, I want to dig into that, a lot of questions, unanswered questions in the Justin Root case. And I'm sure there's other cases all around the country that I was reading about a guy who received parole recently, he received medical parole because he was terminally ill, and yes, justice for Justin, absolutely. He was on medical parole, and before they released him, he ended up passing away. So you know, a lot of guys doing life. Like I said the other day, your family is doing a bid right along with you. Right along with you, your family is doing a bid with you, man. And I'm sure he will eventually. Guys like him. Guys like him, never last. They never last. Not at all. Guys like him never last. But yeah, like so today we're talking about the super predator stuff. Now you got Eddie O'Brien, 15-year-old kid, accused of a brutal crime. No blood on him, right? No motive, no physical evidence tying him to the 98 wounds. Imagine that, 98. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. That really means a lot. You don't always get the credit you deserve for keeping the awareness in the spotlight. So I just wanted to let you know we appreciate you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. That was awesome. Well, sometimes you do things because it's the right thing to do. And you see somebody. Sometimes you see somebody like Eddie come along, and you kind of see, like, yeah, we don't need to buy any. We'll get them. They'll come along. It's all good. They'll definitely come along. I mean, the super predator theory, right? It was garbage from day one. Really. Adi, I'll tell you what, a lot of these inconsistencies with Adi. Well, you could talk about that, and I think that's something else that's gonna matter for the Rule 30. So Adi was in JFK's chat again last night. They was trying to raise more money again to talk to Adi. He said you don't have enough money to get me up there now. He said you don't have enough money. it? The inconsistencies. Thank you, and you know, we just do it all for people like Eddie, because we really believe in him, and I hope at the end I'm not made to look like a chump. I don't think so. You know, I think I don't see how Eddie could have done this the way that they are saying. And I even said, I think I said something the other day like, you know, if anything, Eddie should have gotten in the juvenile, been, in a juvenile system, gotten the help that he needed if he did need any help, just saying. Instead, Riley threw him into the Department of Corrections and thought the prison system was going to eat Eddie up. And it very well should have. It absolutely should have. But what happened? Eddie turned around making friggin' prison better. Go figure that. Imagine that. He made prison better. He upgraded the visiting programs. He has groups for lifers. He went there to minister, and I said, maybe this was God's plan all along, that Eddie was like a prophet, and he was sent there to minister to broken souls. And that is a beautiful way of looking at it. But that's the little gay side of me. Pause. He should have been charged as the juvenile, and it was all it was all politically motivated, all of it. Right? He didn't crash out. He didn't let the gladiator program, and that's what it is too. Like places like that, gladiator school. I learned to transform into a lion in the dome. Gladiator school. And I hope people are sending Eddie emails, keeping his confidence up, keeping his spirits up. I think you could probably. I don't have the email address. I don't know if anyone in the chat has it. The whole Super Predator BS. The reason why it wasn't based on real data, it wasn't based on real numbers. It ignored adolescent brain science. It was racially coded, and even the guy that came up with it said it was no friggin' good. And the Super Predator panic created a legal environment where prosecutors were rewarded for charging kids as adults. And that's where it hurt Eddie's case as well. So now, decades later, the Super Predator theory, it's recognized as a failure, right? A moral, scientific, political disaster. Horrible. States have rolled back the juvenile transfer laws, the same laws that have Eddie doing life in prison. They rolled them laws back. Even the Supreme Court has ruled over and over that children are different from adults. But Eddie, he's still living under a sentence that's built on a lie, a sentence that's built on a myth. Right? Eddie is different. Sometimes some people come along once in a lifetime. and they glow. You know, and sometimes, you know, I couldn't even imagine what Eddie's going through, what goes through Eddie's mind, what goes through his dad's mind. Because, like I said, don't get it twisted. His dad's in prison, his mom's in prison, right along with Eddie. Yeah, they can come and go as they please, but their mind is in a prison. Can Eddie get out and hug his dad one more time? Can we make that happen? Can we try to make that happen? Can we go to the truth about EddieO'Brien.com? There's a website there. There's a spot in there that you can donate. You know, help him get that Rule 30 done. You know, go help Eddie. Forget these creators. Forget me. Go help Eddie. You know what I mean? I think of somebody like him and what he's going through. And I know what prison's like. And I know he's in a place like Gardner, which is kind of like a little wide open. But man, I keep thinking back of a 15-year-old Eddie. And I think back of when I was 21, walking in to prison for the first time. And I'm thinking how loud it was, how cold it was. You could feel the tension ready to pop off. Like, oh my God, the energy, it glows. Like, people really get that glow. It's freaking gladiator school, man. You know, like, you know, and your first couple of days there, you see people coming out of their room like with books on, taped to their chest, you know, and that's so they don't get stuck by a blade. And it's like, oh my goodness, man. You know, you're laying there, you're like, oh man, you know, I just want to go home. I'm sorry. You know, get me out of this, Lord. I'll never do anything like this again. So let's get Eddie exonerated, man. Free Eddie. Free Eddie till it's backwards.
February 7, 2023, at 3:27 and 7 seconds p.m. Eric had been invested in Josie Dyson and probably yet question. Line 10, February 7th, 2023, at 3:27 and 23 seconds p.m. Josie Dyson responds, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So when people say, how did Eddie O'Brien get convicted so damn fast but little evidence and with so many unanswered questions? And the answer is simple. He wasn't convicted by facts. He was convicted by a time in life, an era that they believed that these kids were friggin' monsters. And until the courts get with the damage that era caused, Eddie O'Brien's going to remain one of the biggest casualties. You know, think about it. 15 years old, no blood, no motive, no physical evidence tying him to 98. How long would that take? But guess what? The Commonwealth didn't need evidence. They had a narrative. Eddie wasn't treated like a kid. He was treated like a suspect, like a number, like a symbol. They didn't say it out loud, but the energy was clear. My bad. All right, people, man. Appreciate everybody. You know, it's time for me to hit the bed, man. I've been up all night last night driving, all day today. I'm like crashing out now. Thank you, everybody. You know, maybe we could finish this tomorrow because there's a lot more shit I got in my notes, but I could barely like keep my eyes open. See, I did this for y'all. The judge wouldn't let a lot of evidence in. I wonder why, Miss Gerald, because the books were cooked. The books were cooked, and that's why the judge wouldn't let the evidence in. But the judge is ready to shut my eyes down right now. It's been a long ass night. But tomorrow we're going to talk more about this for sure. 273 comments. Oh my goodness. I hope everybody, you know, said what they had to say. You know, you still got time for super chats. You still got time for memberships. Eddie has a lot of faith. Amen. Praise God. Thank God Eddie has a big family to keep him in a good place so he don't lose his mind. Yes. And he's got some groups going on inside the walls, you know, and I'll tell you what, he made it to you know, a lower security, you know, for being someone that's doing life for his crime. And, you know, so I'm sure he's not a high valued inmate. Like he's not a lot of problems. He's not going to give them any friggin' problems. And I'm sure they're happy about that. But listen, y'all, we're going to leave you with a couple jams and we out of here. Shout out. Thank you for the 999 chat.
Let my house
Appreciate
feeling good,
that.
sun shining bright. So Tony G on the porch, just a casual sight. But then I glanced it down, it's dope wide ajar. I had to check it out, my heart racing like a car. I stepped up to the entrance, felt the chill of the night. Heard some noise from within, never thought it felt so right. With the creak of the door, darkness feel like a wave. What I saw left me frozen, man, I couldn't be brave. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Caught in a moment, life's a little filthy. Wasn't ready for the shadows lurking in, but I hold my ground, got nothing to fear. I called out to Janet, but silence gripped my throat. My instincts kicked in hard like I'm on a tightrope. Bend down to shake a heart pounding like a drum. But what I saw next made me feel so numb. Blood on the floor like a canvas dread. Thoughts racing through my mind, what happened? Where's she dead? Caught in the scene like an actor in a play. Hoping that somehow I could just walk away. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Life's a battlefield, got my eyes wide, feel free. Darkness all around, but I still choose to fight. Got nothing to hide, stepping into this light. In the neighborhood where shadows cast long. Every step I take feels like I'm doing something wrong. But I'm just a witness caught in the strange view. Justice on the line, but what's a man to do? Finger pointed at me, but I can't take the blame. Standing tall in this arena, it's a twisted game. The sirens well outside, bringing chaos and heat. But truth is on my side, I won't accept defeat. Life's a rough patch, it's a turbulent sea. But in the stormy moment, I stand, I am free. No incriminations here, it's just a misunderstanding. But time will reveal truths, no need for demanding. So I keep my head high, I won't falter or bow. Charging through the thick air, stating here and now. You can charge me, but I'm not guilty. Caught in a whirlwind, but I stand gracefully. Life's twisted plots can try to bring me down, but I'm stronger than the shadows. Wear the truth like a crown.
Yeah. Yeah. Them the tree they tried to bury. Yeah. I'm the storm, yeah. I'm the storm they tried to bottle. The truth they tried to drown. 15 years old, they threw a king's weight on a child's crown. But I rise like a riot, like a siren in the night. And I'm calling out the dude who's been ducking the light. Name's Art Ortiz, yeah, that fraud. Moving like a shadow puppet pulled by a coward god. Every time the block shake, he the first one to vanish. Moving like guilt, wearing sneakers, sprinting off in the panic. I'm like, why you always running when the truth get loud? Why your footsteps echo different from the rest of the crowd? You slid through the alleys like a rumor with legs, but when the questions start flying, you crack like eggs. I was sitting on the porch, whole hood saw me chilling. You was creeping through the dark like a plot you was feeling. You a ghost with a heartbeat, a whisper with shoes, a silhouette sprinting off, dropping half-baked clues. I spit metaphors heavy, you the fence jumper phantom, the backyard bandit, the night shift random. You the type to leave footprints, but swear you ain't walk. The type to hear your name whispered and pretend you ain't talk. I'm the kid they tried to bury, but I grew like a vine. Truth climbing every wall, exposing every design. You the dude in the shadows, ducking every spotlight beam, moving like a glitch in the neighborhood dream. This ain't an accusation, this a lyrical rig, a metaphor for every grown man who let a child bleed, for every dude who stayed silent while a kid took the fall, for every shadow in the night who ain't stand up at all. So fictional art, so listen, I'm the storm you can't dodge. I'm the truth in the alley, I'm the ghost in the lodge. I'm the voice of the timeline, the pulse of the street, and every lie you ever told get exposed to the beat. So keep running and hiding, but you can't escape. Truth so relentless, tide your facade's gonna break. I'm the storm, I'm the light, I'm the echo, the fight. And when the beat drops down, you're gonna feel me tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Them the tree they tried to bury. Yeah. I'm the storm, yeah. I'm the storm they tried to bottle. The truth they tried to drown. 15 years old, they threw a king's weight on a child's crown. But I rise like a riot, like a siren in the night. And I'm calling out the dude who's been ducking the light. Name's Art Ortiz, yeah, that fraud. Moving like a shadow puppet pulled by a coward god. Every time the block shake, he the first one to vanish. Moving like guilt, wearing sneakers, sprinting off in the panic. I'm like, why you always running when the truth get loud? Why your footsteps echo different from the rest of the crowd? You slid through the alleys like a rumor with legs, but when the questions start flying, you crack like eggs. I was sitting on the porch, whole hood saw me chilling. You was creeping through the dark like a plot you was feeling. You a ghost with a heartbeat, a whisper with shoes, a silhouette sprinting off, dropping half-baked clues. I spit metaphors heavy, you the fence jumper phantom, the backyard bandit, the night shift random. You the type to leave footprints, but swear you ain't walk. The type to hear your name whispered and pretend you ain't talk. I'm the kid they tried to bury, but I grew like a vine. Truth climbing every wall, exposing every design. You the dude in the shadows, ducking every spotlight beam, moving like a glitch in the neighborhood dream. This ain't an accusation, this a lyrical rig, a metaphor for every grown man who let a child bleed, for every dude who stayed silent while a kid took the fall, for every shadow in the night who ain't stand up at all. So fictional art, so listen, I'm the storm you can't dodge. I'm the truth in the alley, I'm the ghost in the lodge. I'm the voice of the timeline, the pulse of the street, and every lie you ever told get exposed to the beat. So keep running and hiding, but you can't escape. Truth so relentless, tide your facade's gonna break. I'm the storm, I'm the light, I'm the echo, the fight. And when the beat drops down, you're gonna feel me